Oh, we're recording. So, my landlady here in Thailand is addicted to Indian incense. Um, I had gotten into the habit of bringing little treats for the security guard downstairs from the shops, usually something sweet. And my landlady who sits there in the day, I wasn't quite sure what to bring her, but I noticed that she liked to pray a lot. She does these Buddhist prayers in the morning and the evening, and so I had given her a couple of times incense from India. And at first she was kind of like, India, is it black? Because I can't use black incense. And so I think I managed to get a champa for her one time, and she totally flipped over it. And now when I walk past, if she's run out, she bangs the packet on the counter and stares at it in this kind of like discontented fashion. Excuse me, and says, I want. So I always try and get some for her. Now, I have to explain about champa. Many of you who are incense connoisseurs in the West and the East have probably heard of Nag Champa. So when you hear the word champa, you're probably thinking of Nag Champa. No. Nag Champa is a specific tree which is related to the magnolia. And it's called Nag Champa because Nag is a snake and Champa means bark. But, so that's a flavor. Nag Champa is a flavor from that tree. The term champa refers to any kind of incense which is like brown or sandy colored because it means that the pulp is made out of bark, because the word champa means bark. So, so there are two kinds of incense. There are jiggat and champa, and jiggats are black and champas are brown, or sometimes they add color to make them look sort of pretty to a champa because it's a light color, so you can dye it easily. So you'll see like green incense or blue incense or purple incense in Thailand, and those are dyed from champa, not from jiggat. The process of making incense, I'm going to talk a little bit about incense because I have made a study of it, and I have lots of opinions about it. The process of making champas is more natural, I would say, because the essence is contained in the pulp of the barks that are used. Usually sandalwood, but agarwood and different kinds of wood are used. There is one kind of bark that I absolutely love, and I have no idea what it's called because they always just put masala on the package. And I don't know, masala just means spicy or spices, and I don't know which spice they're talking about. That could be anything from cinnamon, it's not cinnamon, to, fenugreek or ajwain. So, but I know that they use it in samagri, which is that stuff that you throw for a havan, for a fire ceremony. Anyway, so champas tend to be more natural. Jiggats can be, but there is also a trend to, it's basically just charcoal mixed with resin and then rolled, and then in the old days they used to add essential oils, and some companies still do that, but they also sometimes spray it with chemically perfumes, which can be toxic. So I tend to avoid jiggats where possible. And also, in Thailand, for instance, you cannot burn a jiggat except on a Saturday. You cannot burn black incense. So I have lots of opinions about all of this, but anyway, I asked my friend who was coming from India to buy me a bunch of champas, and he was very obliging, but they're all jiggats, but they're Nag Champa flavored jiggat. It's not what I wanted, but it's very nice smell. And so I use them in my room for meditation, but it's completely useless for if I want to go to the spirit house. I have to have 7 champas ready. And now he's thrown me a curveball because he brought me Tibetan incense, which is red. It looks like it's made out of the pulp is made out of some kind of clay, and I have no idea if that is acceptable in a Thai spirit house or not. So I have to ask my Thai teacher about that. What else did I want to say about incense? Yes, I have one thing, a bugaboo that I used to have when we used to do this ritual in India. We were a community of mostly Canadians and Europeans, and we would get together and do this kind of Hindu style worship, which was basically 10 songs followed by meditation. There were lots of bell ringing, blowing of a conch, gongs, and incense, of course. Now, some people are sensitive to incense, especially, I'm going to say it, Canadian New Age ladies in particular are quite sensitive and sometimes allergic to different flavors and stuff. So they would raise objections to the incense and or snuff it when they came in for the ritual. So the high priestess, the lady who was conducting the ceremony, would light usually quite a lot. And then some people would trickle in for the ceremony, and then they would gradually get snuffed out. And the thing that I found objectionable as a pagan, which is a completely different angle to be looking at any of this, was to see the incense inverted in the tray in front of the idols. Because, okay, the incense is not ambiance. It's not for you to enjoy the smell and feel more mystical. It's not, actually. I mean, it's fine. Like, I understand you have certain physical needs if you're doing a ritual, and you have to respect your own body as well. But it's also, it's not about you. Like, every single ritual has a portion or a segment to it, which is the sacrifice. And in a puja, you know, there's the food that you offer, and then in some cases, and the incense is the sacrificial portion. And so when you're offering that to the deity or whoever you're offering the incense to, you want to be conscious of that, especially if you decide to snuff it halfway. I would at least put it back upright in the thing anyway, just so you're not having this thing with its ass in the air in front of the idol, because that's what it looked like to me. Anyway, so I used to get kind of uppity about that. Yeah, because I mean, there's rules about candles also, that you're not supposed to put candles into the sconces and then leave them unlit. You're supposed to light them and then blow them out. I don't really care about that. I don't really see the point of it. There's also rules like in India, supposedly, some Hindus believe that you should not actually use incense as worship. You should use dhoob, which is like this black plasticine stuff that is charcoal mixed with cedar resin, I think, and other essential oils are added to it sometimes, and it functions as incense, but it's basically this thing that you roll into a sort of cone and light it. But the thing is, it doesn't have any bamboo in it, whereas incense has bamboo. And there's a superstition about bamboo representing the ancestors, and you're not supposed to burn your ancestors, but people do it all over India, all over Thailand. Interestingly enough, Tibetan incense has no bamboo in it. It's just this stick which is rolled and then dried, and it's actually very annoying because it breaks. Like, you buy it and it's all kind of strength in numbers packed together, and then you unbind it and then you take it out, and it just if you bump it, or if you put it in a case with other incense sticks, it's going to be definitely damaged easily. It crumbles. So I have all this Tibetan incense. I don't know what to do with it. I'm not that big a fan. I like it better than some Thai incense, but honestly, my favorite incense is the stuff that comes from the Hare Krishna, which is really, Hare Krishna ashrams. It's really, really gritty. It has a lot of bits of bark in it and stuff, and a lot of resin, and it's really strong. And I can smell that it has amber in it, as well as maybe what smells to me like cedar berries and and whatever that wood is that they put in the samagri. Anyway, what else did I want to say? Oh yes, for spirits shrines, they have told me, the Thai people who I've spoken to, that you're supposed to light an odd number, which is the same as in India. Now in Thailand, you don't light one unless you're summoning a ghost. I don't think they have that notion in India, because a lot of people just light one. And I've seen people lighting two, which is not done, but it's a kind of nice amount of smoke and flavor, so people do that in India. But odd numbers are considered more auspicious. And then you also have the amount that you're meant to light for a deity or for Buddha, which is 3. And then for the spirit shrine, you're supposed to light 7 or 9, which is quite a lot, but it is outdoors. I have, or 5. I've only ever seen 7 in our spirit shrine at this place, and I don't know if that has to do with the size of the house, the number of incenses, maybe, or maybe it's something to do with the moon phases. I mean, my friends always tell me it depends on the time and circumstances, but in this particular building, I have never seen more or less than 7. And trying to think if there's anything else, superstitions about incense or rules. Matches are better. Like, I know in India they don't like, if you're doing a puja, they don't like to use a lighter because it's not natural, as if. But, which I agree with. However, I think that by the same token, you should not have Christmas lights on a puja because, first of all, I think it looks obnoxious. And second of all, I think that, light the candle and don't have bhajans blaring. You should be singing those. They should not be coming from a boombox. So, lots of opinions. Anyway, so this is just any information you wanted about incense. If anyone can tell me where I can get dragon's blood in Bangkok, I would love to know, because it's supposed to be useful for a certain ritual, and I have never found it, and I could never figure out what it would be called in Hindi when I was in India. And similarly, I don't know in Thailand, but it's a very powerful flavor of incense, supposedly. Anyway, and a very rare tree, and we don't want to endanger the tree just from our demand of incense. I have read articles about like things going in danger because of people's obsession with incense, which is a worry. I think that we should, move toward things that are not damaging the earth. Anyway, that's it. That's a kind of nerdy ramble about incense. Okay, bye.